Hi, my name's April, and I'm fascinated by culture and how to create sustainable change. I can see there's quite an art to gift giving, and this has the power to manifest system change. Okay, who am I to tell you to give to other people? Well, I've given some awkwardly practical gifts in my time. However, in the process of being giving, I've also created some special memories. There's no one size fits all. In fact, every social and environmental change needs to start within each of us. So in this session, I'm offering ideas to create the magic of giving. Giving to create social and environmental regeneration where you live, in your family, and your environment. Giving can be system changing because we have the opportunity to break expectations. We can go above and beyond. I offer you a gift at the end of this session. How do you feel about that? Hold on to that thought and observe how your thinking might change as we tackle the issue of gift giving. I lead a team that provides permaculture courses online. I create light-hearted illustrations about sensitive climate change issues, and I practice every day practical things to effect change. Overall, I try to stay optimistic and generous. One of the principles of permaculture is to share surplus and fair share of resources. I also find joy in supporting others. Being supportive is an undervalued style of leadership. By being kind and supportive, you won't get famous, but it enables us to respond quickly and work where we're truly needed. Think of the power of one little mosquito in your bedroom in the middle of the night. A gift does not have to be big. Your mystery gift is going to be small, but it can give you great comfort. For many people, gift giving is a huge part of their culture and economy. For instance, in Japan, it is customary to give a gift to say you are sorry or to say welcome and thank you. In fact, it is traditional to remember the trading of gifts and services. A register is often kept on who owes whom, and this register can be kept for centuries between the families. In my family, people are more likely to remember the weird and embarrassing gifts I give them. In my experience in Australia, the so-called free world, it's common to be asked to give money as a gift for a major event like a wedding or to use their bridal registry. Therefore, the opportunity to give something that builds my relationship with the receiver is quite limited. In nearly all situations, I can't give too much without making the receiver feel obligated, and I don't want to give too little for fear of looking mean or appearing to exclude someone. Personally, I prefer to give people colourful memories and hearty food. Your mystery gift should be quite memorable. The wonderful thing is, if you don't remember how to use it, maybe you'll invent a better use. But here's another hint. It wasn't harvested or produced by me, but I did store it and package it, and I'm giving you some handy instructions for use. I didn't invent this use, and I'm not qualified to give you specialist advice on the use of the gift. So please, use the gift at your own risk and seek medical advice if there's an adverse reaction. While we're talking about gifts, let's explore the gift economy. The gift economy is where we use gift giving and services instead of money. Terry Lay talks about the gift economy as a pathway out of capitalism. Let's tackle the elephant in the room. What's wrong with money? There's an old theory by Marx that money alienates work. And especially when we're buying something, we rarely ever ask, who made this? Who mined the materials? Who invented the software? Yet a great amount of interest is invested in who branded this and who sold it to me. Advertisers know that the look of the product creates an emotional response, and this overrides many other factors such as the durability, efficiency, and price. And in all honesty, a car that travels faster than human reaction time is not sustainable, it's lethal. So we all have to make money to get our basic needs met. Well, most of us. We don't have a choice of what we want to do with our time or where we want to work, and we don't have a choice on who we can distribute our work and service to, because it has to go to those who can pay for it. And we often miss out on buying stuff that just doesn't make it to the market, such as this elephant apple. A classic example of the lack of choice in the monetary system is mulberry fruit. It doesn't store well enough to go to market. It's highly possible that in a few generations, no one will even know what a mulberry is. In the same way, few people today know that they can eat the fruit of the Monstera deliciosa, yet these plants enjoyed a huge resurgence during the pandemic. The monetary economy deals poorly with environmental and justice issues. Yes, we have compensation and legal systems to repay losses, but the monetary system can't afford to factor in these costs up front before they happen. And there are few companies using environmental and safety quality systems. But who wantingly pays more for the same product so they can buy it from an environmentally responsible quality manufacturer? My grandfather's father was hit on the head at work by a crane, and it took him 2 years to die. It wasn't the railways who paid for his care. It was his family and an old system of the gift economy in the form of a formal brotherhood known as the Masons at that time. And we see many of these organisations today. In fact, 1 in 3 people in Australia volunteer their time. This is a huge contribution to our economy. We know that the monetary market requires that companies buy goods cheaply and sell them at a much higher price. Greed is not the evil here. The system is the problem. The monetary system sustains only companies with highest profits. It weeds out those who can't compete. At an individual level, it might seem that we can be ethical in our choices, and this does make a difference if we buy direct, because we give the producer feedback. So when big companies make decisions based on ethics, the monetary market is totally destabilized. So in the gift economy, you can produce as much as you like. There's no motive to produce unnecessary stuff. And the prestige comes from producing stuff that doesn't damage the environment. There's no motive to pollute, and there's non-coercive mediation. Studies by social ecologists such as Terry Lay reveal 2-track thinking in most people. The first track is more than 50% of people want a system change, like regulated green economy, but only 15% of those people actually vote for it. Because in the second track of our thinking, we're worrying about jobs, safety, comfort, and even luxurious retirement or staying in what we see as our normal life, even though the planet is not capable of sustaining the normal. And the gift economy is the easiest economy to dip your toes into if you just want to have a go at making a change. This is something you can try, and it's not going to cost you a lot. Look around and see what you can share, give away stuff, and volunteer your time. There's this concept that's been around since 1916 called paying it forward. That is, instead of paying somebody back, so that you're giving gifts of kindness and service and distributing your wealth on a regular basis. If you do 3 acts of kindness every day, then it should have some sort of flow on. But you're not relying on there being a flow on. You're relying on there being a better immediate world around you. So with your mystery gift, here's another hint. It is regiftable. You take ownership of this gift. I'm not giving it to you and forcing you to use it. I'm giving it to you freely. You can keep it wrapped up and give it to someone else as a gift. Maybe you will take half of it and pass the other half on. Perhaps you will find someone else in need and give it to them. Giving and regifting is a cultural action. Some people are offended by the thought of regifting, and some people are always regifting. Getting back to the Japanese, it's quite common for them to regift something without even opening it. An elderly relative of mine once gave back a present that I had given her, saying, "This reminded me of you." Do you have more than you really need? And if so, can you do without that money, or considering that money is actually energy? Can you invest in ways to stop destructive harvesting and spending? If you had enough money and energy to spare, would you invest it in projects that are regenerative? One of the easiest ways to spend a lot of money and make a big impact and then get most of that money back is to put covenants on property. So you buy a beautiful conserved area, perhaps it's a farm that hasn't been totally degraded. You put a covenant on it and then you sell it again. Some cultures share everything that they have. When Pintipu Yalti was a teenager, she was so-called discovered by another Aboriginal group. She was one of a family of 9 people. The father had died, and these teenagers were discovered in 1984. They found it quite challenging to go into a Western world because when they bought stuff, they didn't know they had to pay. They just took things. They were used to sharing everything. Living in a sharing group eliminates consumerism, but it requires constant negotiation and a selflessness. You can't be greedy in a community that shares everything. In permaculture system thinking, we have an idea that the problem can also be the solution. In practical terms, you can see I've turned this bird cage into an anti-aviary. Keeps the birds away from my seedlings. There are 2 opportunities at ritualistic times, such as Christmas. We can flip the situation. We can say, oh, this is stressful putting all the family together. So perhaps I'll reach outwards and serve others at Christmas time. I'll still invest time in my family, but I'll look outside my family to see who else I can help. The notion of love languages is pretty old, but it's enduring. It helps us to question our preferred methods of communicating affection to others. There's different ways to show affection, and all of them requires us to be giving. We'd be giving with presence or being there for them, allowing time for people, hugging, acts of service, that is helping other people physically, doing things for them, and words of affirmation, saying how much you value them. For some people, their act of service might be to make a home brew of kombucha or milk kefir or beer or cider, or craft a toy. One of my most memorable gifts was something I made as a child for my parents. I carved a chess set out of blocks of soap. And one of my favorite gifts that I was given was when my grandmother was rushed to hospital with a burst gallbladder, and the surgeon was tired and his assistant was lazy and said, let's just stitch her up. And then the surgeon recognized my grandmother's face and said, this woman welcomed me to her little home for Christmas lunch when I was new to the country and all alone. So the surgeon took great care to do his best. And he told Grandma that he recognized her and that he worked tirelessly till she was better. It was such a memorable gift for the whole family. What do relationships provide us? They give us feedback, validation, knowledge, entertainment, better health prospects, actually, if you've got lots of relationships, security, and an increased lifespan. This mystery gift was free to me because I had a good relationship with the woman who came across this, and she shared it with me. There's many things you can give people that are not stuff. They're experiences, such as tickets to a museum or a show, a ride in a vintage car or on a donkey or a camel, photographs from their childhood, or making them a video. So here's another hint about the mystery gift. It's really only useful in times of great discomfort. If you want to give a present and you want it to be quite a powerful tool for change, then choose compostable, handcrafted gifts, because they do 3 things. They give a gift to your loved one, they give a gift to the environment, and they support local artists. One of the easiest gifts you can give is food, good quality food, like organic tomatoes or organic coffee, things that people love. Here's another hint, your mystery gift is compostable. And if you're searching for a timely gift, then it needs to be what they're really needing at that time. By doing that, you're demonstrating that you're paying attention to their needs. Sustainable gifts include antiques, reclaimed items, and upcycled items. This shows creativity and environmental awareness and can be educational. One of my favourite gifts to my son during a phase where he's been quite challenging was to give him some fossilised dinosaur poop. Here's another hint for your mystery gift. One size fits all. I don't need to know the size of your shoe. Here's a recipe for Goodwill. For Goodwill to be generated, we need care and consideration, preparation, some packaging and delivery, and paying it forward, giving without expecting to receive. In the preparation, we can determine what the receiver would really appreciate. Explore suitable eco-gifts, such as upcycled, locally produced antiques, tools or specialty foods or seeds and plants. And you could take this a step further and make a compact within your friend or family group that you will each only give sustainable gifts. If you are tempted to buy something exorbitant like a boat or a jet ski, investigate the cost of hire versus purchasing it. When you hire a boat, you don't have to maintain it, and the same goes for owning a holiday home or a caravan. It's much less costly to the planet to hire something, especially when it's big. You can hire it whenever and wherever you need it. Now let's go back to that first reaction you had when I said, I'm going to give you a mystery gift. What was that reaction, and do you have the same thinking about that? Just want the mystery gift and go home? Were you annoyed at feeling obliged to feel grateful for this gift, which you may not even like? Were you wondering if you need to reciprocate the gift? Maybe give me something nice or be nice to me afterwards? Were you wondering what to do if you don't like it? This mystery gift is made from a bag of produce that was offered to me for free by a friend. Thank you, Lizzie Smith. So there was a small social cost because I do feel grateful and I will share with her whenever I have something to offer in return. I bought that bag home in my car, so it cost energy to bring it home. But also the produce itself cost energy to create. It was harvested from an animal without harming the animal, but energy was required to raise that animal, then harvest and store the product. Product was surplus to needs, and it needed to be stored properly in a mold-free, humidity-controlled bag. And I kept it under my bed. So it's costing me space for the storage. Also, I had to keep it safe from my son's dog, who wanted to spread it all about and roll in it, so it needed some high security. I used my experience and knowledge to know what to do with this and how to turn it into a gift. But perhaps you have more specialist knowledge to evaluate the use of this product and consider if my gift is wasteful or undervalued. I have no doubt you know other uses for this amazing material. My friend Lizzie is going to turn it into felt. So if you've been a bit of a Scrooge and now you're thinking, oh, what are my last hour's gift ideas? What can I do that will be good for the planet and good for my relationship building? Well, seedlings in a decorative pot, or herbs in olive oil or brandy, or socks, or a hamper of food that you know they will use. They're great gifts that you can get at the last couple of hours. But if you're now down to the last minutes for your gift ideas, then go to the tickets or vouchers or even write a promise note that you'll promise to give them 10 hand massages. Now you've got your gift ready, there's some sustainable wrapping ideas. You can use tea towels and saris and maybe a beach towel or a tablecloth. And handkerchiefs that make excellent wrapping material for small items and can be used for many purposes. So your mystery gift is a small piece of fleece that you keep in your wallet. This small piece of fleece will prevent you getting nasty blisters. For those of you who are watching this presentation online, my gift to you is the idea that you get a small bag of fleece and you put some in an envelope with a card telling the user that this fleece can be carried in your wallet. Whenever you experience a blister, slip the fleece down into your sock to cover the blister and you will be able to keep walking without any pain. Enjoy!